This is the Yamaha PSS 390, a toy piano manufactured sometime between the year 1989 and 1990. It was specially designed for kids to learn how to play piano and to make music.
But what attracted me the most is still the design of this thing. I just love the 80s retro aesthetic on this thing. And I ended up thrifting it for around 300 Hong Kong dollars. And the thing is, it actually works.
You know, as a musician, I've been loving this thing as a creative little tool for inspirations. But I have never actually made music with this thing. I mean, seriously, can you actually make music?
Well, to find out, I decided to have a little challenge. For the next week, I'm going to make music only with this little toy piano. That means no plugins, no DAWs, no computers.
Spoiler alert, it's not gonna be easy. But at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you an original piece I write in this week. And if you're stuck in creative block and look for tips for creativity, I'm also gonna show you 3 tips that are gonna help you to get out of creative block. So let's go. Day numero uno. So the first thing you might notice when you see this thing is probably the ridiculous numbers of presets this thing has. So you got 100 voice presets, and you also got 100 drums presets. I have never gone through all these presets. I mean, who the hell had the time for that? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, to like go through all these presets and write it down which one I like and which presets sounds like apt. So we start from the first one, which is the piano. It sounds like this.
Needless to say, it's quite a tedious process to test every single preset. There's some interesting ones, and there are some questionable ones.
Day 2. I'm so tired right now. Oh my god. But there's one thing I do want to figure out, which is how to record on this thing. So I don't know if you can see, there's a recording button here, but it doesn't quite work when I press it. Oh, how do I... rate to do multi-track recordings. Now we only have one track to play with.
Well, I guess we have to end the second day with this Mickey Mouse sounding music. I was planning on something more interesting, but I'm happy that I figured out how to do recordings and found these presets that I really like. But I still have no idea how to utilize these sounds to make an actual song.
I was thinking if I should continue to make this video because I woke up with a fever and a sore throat. But I do have this little idea in mind, like this little bossa nova idea, like because I feel like this keyboard will fit more like a cutesy vibe. I guess today I will experiment with these sounds and the beats a little bit, see what I came up with. And arrangement wise, since I cannot figure out how to do multi-track recording, so the maximum I can do is 3 instruments, so 1 drums, 1 chorus, one of them for melodies or little arpeggios. They say me, hi babe, I'm the only one to sing and offer you the listen and maybe hurry you. Baby, they can't know me longer. Look for the nothing. I think she agrees. Hey, that's a good.
Actually, so far, it's going better than I expected. I really like the little melody idea I have. But there is still a big problem here, which is songwriting. What am I writing? What is this song even about?
There are only certain keys that you can play on this keyboard. The little jam we did last time was in D flat, which I'm quite happy with. So I think it's a good start with the song. You said enough of nothing. Oh, I love you to sing. I don't know who you are, and I don't know who you are. I see you in your loving heart. Saying how this I love you is not real. One thing I do want to figure out is like this fucking synthesizers. Shit.
Honestly, it feels kind of weird. I actually feel a lot of freedom in creating with such a simple tool. It also makes me wondering, maybe I should write a song about my relationship with the tools.
Kind of hard. It's been a while that I've been trying. A million percent I've been liking. But you can't lie. It's just me. It's just me and you. For a while. Well, I have tried. Let it transition into the chorus. Away out.
It is quite interesting to see how much my workflow changed just because I switched to this tool. Well, before I can add a lot of effects, I can edit my audio clips, and then I can add a lot of virtual instruments. And here all you get is one synth and one drum tracks. So it's all about squeezing creativity from nothing. Well, it's not necessarily nothing, I guess, but it does make me think what kind of tools I need when I'm creating. Do I need this many tools? Are they pulling me back? What is a good tool? And what is a bad tool? And what is our relationship with tools? To these questions, Austrian philosopher Ivan Illich explored the relationship between humans, technology and tools in his 1970 book Tools for Conviviality, in which he brought out the idea of convivial tools. Quote, to the degree he masters his tools, he can invest the world with his meaning. To the degree that he is mastered by his tools, the shape of the tool determines his own self-image. Convivial tools are those who give each person who uses them the greatest opportunity to enrich the environment with the fruits of his or her vision. But how the hell does this idea relate to creativity and creating music with this little thing? In here, Ivan is talking about outputs are being dictated by our tools, and you should be careful about your relationship with tools. After bonding with the bad tools, we manipulate your outcome. If you think about the process of creation, we first have an initial idea in our mind. Then we often need the help from tools to express our idea to this world. Yet tools can become so manipulative to their users when means are overtaken by ends. I think many of you share the similar experience that you pull out your phone to check what time is it, but it always turns into the meaningless wondering, doom scrolling. Phone is such a distracting and manipulating tools that your initial mean and idea is long lost in the process of using it. We become a slave to our own tools. So obviously the first step to unlock your creativity is to use the right tool, or switch to another tool. And to me, I conclude 3 points that make something a good tool. First, the knowledge, you know how the tool works. And second, the trust. You build trust with the tools and believes that the tools will help you. And the third one, you have control over your tools, that the tool won't distract you or manipulate you from doing what you want. And if you haven't decided on what tools to start with, my suggestion will actually be to start with the simplest tool possible. If you're a musician, just use GarageBand on your phone. Actually brings out the second tip to unlock your creativity, which is to create limitations and remove the selective process. Trust me, humans are really bad at selecting things. So when we face hundreds of plugins and thousands of samples, it's quite easy to get lost in so many choices. The creative block actually comes from having too much choices. Something that's quite practical that you can do that I realize is actually to limit the size of your creation. If you are a writer, try to limit the word count that you can write. If you're a musician, try to limit the length of the music you can write. Write music only in certain keys, on certain instruments. And trust me, humans are really creative under limitations. And what actually helps me the most is the third tip. And this tip makes no sense at all, which is just, if you're having trouble making a choice, just flip a coin. Probably the biggest enemy to creators is overthinking. We often spend a lot of time thinking what is the right choice, which presents us the best, which part of the lyrics needs to be kept, right? But a lot of times, the best way to make a choice is just to pick a random one and step up and try it. Because actually humans not that good at thinker. It's hard for us to imagine, just imagine which choice is the best. And the best choice is always to just pick one side and try it. So next time, if you are struggling to pick which samples to use as a snare drum, or which words to use as the lyrics, you will find the best solution on this path of trial and error instead, and not but just by imagining what is the best. And trust me, you have a lot of chance to correct the path, even if it's a wrong choice. On a side note, I recently saw this beat challenge online, where they will give you random samples and you will battle with another producer, and people will vote. Very good practice.
I don't know who you are. I don't wanna make a sound. I look at you and can't stop thinking, could you be my eye? For a while that I've been trying, feeling lost that I've been crying. Then you come into my life, just me and you. Then I feel your touch, baby, you take my world. But I remember the next day you slammed my door. So tell me what's going wrong, baby. You said loving you is not easy. Relentless hurry and lost memory. I wanna run away, run away, run away from you. I said loving you is never easy. Remember we are the perfect fit. So let's run away, run away, run. Just me and you.